Hi, my gorgeous Pisceans. This is your homework family reading for, what is it, for August 16th through the 31st. Hit the bell. That went off pretty well. All right. Just as I was getting ready to ring the bell and start the video, I was being told that you are going to be dealing with some issues, dealing with some grave sorrow, secret, shame, regret, some conflict, relationship. But I'm also getting some of that is being brought forth from family judgment. You'll be experiencing it or working through it in some level, trying to bring healing to it in some level during this time. I'm also being told it is affecting the sacral, the bottom three chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. So this is one reason why it's important for you to work through it, bring healing to it, because it's causing blockages in the root, sacral, and the solar plexus for some of you all who are Pisces. But definitely some relationship grief. When I say grief, I typically mean either grieving, grief that you hold on to, secrets, sorrow, shame, blame, and regret that you might be holding on to. And they're also saying in some cases, this is because of what you're not speaking. You're not speaking forward to the world. And it's been causing a conflict within the relationship or the family. As well as within yourself. Some of you are dealing with heartache because of it as well. Is that it for that part? They're saying calm yourself. Calm yourself. As you calm yourself, it will give you free expression to express the honest, true, loving person that is inside, or the love that needs to come forth for yourself. If you're expressing that proper love for yourself, then it will change that relationship and deal with the situation. But doing it properly, I think what they're saying is there's one way of being assertive. There's another way of being aggressive. And I feel like they're saying you need to be assertive in the situation. Not necessarily aggressive. The aggressiveness may cause more conflict. It all has to do, they're saying it all has to do with the way you bring it to an approach, and it is bringing a growth into the situation of that relationship or family situation. I'm also being given Kinez. Okay, I can't explain it. I'm being given Kinez and Isa brought together. And then they turn off into a diamond. Now, this is technically runes. Okay, and the way that I am seeing what it looks like is it's a line, and then it goes like this. So it's like the Pac-Man symbol, however you want to do it, like the Pac-Man symbol, and then there's a line. So it looks like a K, is what they're giving me. And Isa speaks of stillness. Let me pull out my rune here for a minute, because I knew that I was going to be getting it, so that I can help you understand where I'm coming from, because I may be interpreting it not 100% correctly for you. And if I give you all the different interpretations, you can decide what fits. But where are you, Isa? Oh, As long as I've been using this book, I swear things just move around. Okay, Isa is ice. It is concentration. It is also ego, and it is water. It is a challenging and frustrating time to turn inwards. Focus to what is either stillness, a PowerPoint of concentration. Stasis may be blocked. It is both intense consideration and detachment are needed to work with ISO well. And it indicates a person who either has stopped growing because they're feeling stuck, or they're learning how to have great mental control. It is the principle of concentration, necessary stasis, experience of stillness, retreat but do not separate, reducing one's impact on the immediate environment. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm talking to Neptune. Can you kind of maybe get your tail right out of their face? Thank you. It is control. You're learning self-mastery is what Isa comes down to. Then it is being brought with Kinez. And Kinez is like the ignition button, the start button. But let me find it so that I can give you the different interpretations. Because more or less, before I even hit runes, they are just giving me all kinds of. I mean, the tarot. They're giving me a combined rune, and then they're showing me it extending into another combined rune. So I'm trying to find it, but damn. I feel like this is self-mastery to find your own personal power. Taking time, going inward, retreat, but not actually separate from the world or the situation at hand. Just take time for inward focus. It is Kinez, is the torch, craft, cunning. It is your manifestation, your character, and your personality. It points to the matter of creativity or the craft in general. It shows the ability through skills and effort. It can indicate balance or the balancing of cycles or show where it is out of balance. Basically, Kinez speaks to you of your creativity and your manifestation of bringing yourself forward, the character and the true personality, bringing the fire back into it. Well, if you're out of balance, then you're going to be out of that manifestation. You have to have your mental, your spiritual, your physical. They all have to be in balance. Your four technically has to be in balance. All four of them. Emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. If they're out of balance, then you're not creating and you're not being able to lift your true self up. They're saying take time, go inwards, pamper yourself, find out what you need, pull yourself back. Don't necessarily separate, but retreat. Pull yourself together. Get yourself mastery. Then, within that, figure out what the ignition button is, what the start button is, your creativity expressed in form. What is that? The inspiration that is brought to you, the knowledge and your capabilities that is brought to you. It is reshaping the present person as you move forward, is what I am getting when I see the K, okay? And because that's what it looks like to me, is a K. And then they are moving from that, they pull out of that a diamond. And like I said, I would prefer, I know what my intentions are, but I prefer when I'm dealing with the runes to give you from the book, because if I'm talking about so many different people, it could be things that I'm leaving out, long story short. So I'm giving you that way. I feel like it's speaking to you of these two energies coming together into one. But from that, it comes into Induus. And Induus is the seeding. It is the questing. It is God. It is your inner godding. It is the world of inner experiences, virtues, common sense, family, human warmth. And it focuses on the need to go inwards and contemplate. Go inward and let something new bloom or take form. It speaks of stillness, gestation, a moment in the process or its issues. It indicates the presence of someone who is working with the land or is involved in their own spiritual working. There is no decision without proper thought. It speaks to you of you're finding your inner nourishment. They are saying it's speaking to you of achieving your internal growth, strengthening your personal inner resources so that you can start to move forward. It is preparation. It is the preparation that sustains the outer contact. Taking proper preparation with yourself to sustain the outer contract within the world so that you've come to your place in this world. You've come to where you're secure with who and what you are. Excuse me. It is, that's also saying that we're removing our negativity from the idea. They're telling me right now that I need to pay attention to Virgo information when I start looking at your astrology. Okay, I mean, and that's pretty much what I'm mainly getting right off the bat, because they give me that. It's straight, and it goes together, though. They give me that, and then they give me the idea of Smokey the Bear. Well, Smokey the Bear speaks to us of putting out the fire, and this is speaking to you of igniting the fire, finding your true self. They're saying finding the true love for yourself within. And I think what they're saying is because there's so much coming. When I look at the astrology, pretty much all I really see is Pisces. And Pisces is the universal 12th house, even though for you it's your universal first house. It automatically holds the energies of the mystery of the 12th house. And I'm feeling like with Smokey the Bear, they're telling you to put out the fires that aren't serving you and find the ones that are. Because Smokey the Bear is always talking about putting out forest fires. So they're saying, the way I'm getting this is, you automatically carry that universal 12th house in who and what you are with the mystery of what you are. And the very understanding of the imagination of what you are. You're also ruled by Neptune. So they're saying you need to disconnect with the ideas of the image that doesn't serve you anymore. Because you need to start being connected to your own true oneness, your own true wholeness, your own true growth of who and what you are now. What was in the past is not important. And then we also have, at least that's what I'm taking from it. If when I said Smokey the Bear, if it meant something else to you, that might be a validation in some other way. I'm not, I just give you the interpretations as I'm being given them. Then in astrology, you are not necessarily being given this rune itself, but it is written all over the astrology for, I think, from the 28th of August right on up until the 9th. And I'm giving you this because it works with what they said, but this is in the astrology, so it's for everyone. It's not just for you. Othala forms on the 28th, which happens to be the full moon. No, it's the new moon. It happens to be on the new moon where new beginnings take place. And this is even more important, I'm being told, than the Lion's Gate. The Lion's Gate was trying to get us on this page, is what Spirit is giving me. Othala forms in the astrology again until September 9th. And Othala is ancestral, property, heritage, and homeland. It is the world of nations. It speaks to us about what truly is important in our lives and how to increase that abundance. It indicates the importance of the big issues and the structure and how to approach them. It is the whole family, the society, the nation, and can be all about its focus, the whole family, the society, or the nation. It may show, because they're showing me directly for you, that it's going to show presence of the leader of the community coming forward within the whole. So this is speaking to you also of finding, they're saying in this case too, is going to deal with you finding how to speak your truth and be the leader of your own life, whether it's because you're a boss and you have to be a good leader at a job, or it's just being your own personal leader in your own life and leading your life instead of being led. Okay, it is the leader of the community, the presence of them brought forth. It is the rune of sacred space, Othala is. Now, I'm not going to go any deeper into that because I know pretty much what I already want to say. I always say when I speak of Othala, this is a picture. There's obviously a leaf in this picture in the frame. But Othala speaks to us of why are we looking at the picture and what's inside of it? Why aren't we seeing the whole wall? Why aren't you seeing the big picture? The way that they also explain it to me is like if you're looking at the wall and you see the window, why are you just looking at the wall with the window? Why aren't you looking out the window and at the whole giant world? See the big picture. Othala is also speaking to us of the fact that this is the vessel that holds the soul. This is where the soul has the power inside. It cannot be taken away. You cannot lose its power. You cannot lose its strength. The only way you lose it is because you accidentally, without having knowledge, you most likely gave pieces of yourself away, which lost your power. They're telling you this is about communication and self-expression, which will allow you to reclaim your power. Find that oneness within yourself and also resolve the conflicts that you have within yourself as you move forward. They are telling me also, allow your third eye to help you through this energy. The imagination, the vision, the wisdom, coming into that higher understanding. See what it is that you are wanting to create. See what it is that you need to know about yourself. See yourself for what you truly are and know where you need to tweak. Tweak those areas, more or less, is what I'm being given. Now, I know as I look into your astrology, a lot of the astrology from the 15th through the 31st is dealing with, self-motivation, self-action, or action-oriented change created by the self-assertiveness, self-motivation, again. It is the belief in your free will to very much believe in yourself. It is the ascendant rising. But you are dealing with unconscious actions being brought to conscious actions of both your internal and external world. And what I mean by that is some of this is just stuff that you're acknowledging within those like first, second, third, fourth house. And some of this is stuff you're realizing from the 12th through, the 9th house? Is more of your internal communication than your external communication. It is dealing with the outer world, yes, but most of this is coming from what you're keeping inside, what your secrets are to yourself, what you're maybe not communicating, because you might be in your head too much. And this is what I'm being given. Now, they told me to look, I get it. They were saying to pay attention to Virgo. Let me tell you, you have Mars, Venus, the Sun, Mercury, all moving into Virgo. You're also going to have that new moon on the 28th, the day Othala forms in Virgo. For you, this is that 7th house. And they were saying relationships, and you're dealing with relationships and grief, trying to make changes within them that serve you by acknowledging the truth and letting go of what's not going to serve you. I feel like this diamond is saying, because like I said, I'm being given the K, which is Isa Kinez, and then it turns into the diamond. And I feel like it's saying, find your inner power, reclaim that, re-pull that back into you, find that inner wholeness that gives you your power back, and all of that you've been holding on to that are false images of yourself, let that shit fall away. And don't worry about those relationships until you worry about yourself. Not worry about yourself, but take care of these situations within yourself, and then the proper relationships will continue to remain, and the other ones will dissipate. They will go away. But this is speaking of marriage, partnerships, business, contracts. Obviously, relationships, it's divorce, it's separation, it's lawsuits, it's open enemies. Anything you care about, you have a relationship with. From your friends, your family, your children, your loved ones, your working environment. And then you also have a relationship with things. I say all the time, if you have no money, you know all about your relationship with the lack of money. So anything you care about, you have a relationship with. It is going to be showing you if it's serving you, if it's not. And when I say serving you, I really mean, is it supporting you soulfully? Or are you holding on to something that's keeping you from moving forward? Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury are all moving in. Starting on the 18th of the month, Mars moves in. Then Venus moves in on the 21st. On the 22nd, Sun moves in. Mercury moves in on the 29th, but you had the new moon on the 28th. That's when Othala formed. That's that universal 7th house. Prior to then, it's in Leo. And this was talking to you about your everyday mundane tasks. Your physical being within those mundane tasks. Are you capable of doing these things? Your daily work, your ability to work, your hygiene, your diet, your health. And when I say mundane tasks, I literally mean from the time you get up till the time you go to bed. Are you doing things that are helping you from that moment to the time you go to bed? You get up, you brush your teeth, you get ready, you go out in public, you take your shower, you eat some food, you go out in public. The people that you are around, are these things all supporting you or not? And you have choices within these mundane tasks. If you're surrounded at work in your working environment with people you don't necessarily like, well, nobody says you have to spend the whole day having conversations with them. You could do your job and then just leave until it's time for you to be able to leave that job and find a new job. What I'm saying is are you doing things all day long that in the long run have kept you from being able to enjoy life, because those mundane tasks are actually tearing you down, making you feel dissipated? And that's what that energy in Leo would be talking to you about. Understanding how to shift that so that it helps you feel better about who you are and where you are and what you're trying to do with yourself. Soulfully feel about yourself, and then return that into the relationships in a new positive aspect as it moves. So the first half of the month, it was one thing, and then as you move into the second half, it's starting to turn into the other. Mars is your passion, your action, your aggression, your fire. It's also your inner sacral chakra, how you feel about yourself. Venus is telling you what's sensitive, what makes you feel good and what doesn't, what hurts, what feels like love and what feels like hate. What are these vibrational energies telling you? What is the Venus saying? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? And it will explain to you why you're feeling that way. The Sun is illuminating the situation itself and definitely bringing extra emphasis to that Mars and that Venus energy. Mercury is going to be traveling through Leo with like the speed of light. Like it's like, I'm going to come in here, kick ass, speak what I have to say, and I'm done with this shit, and let's get back in. Let's move on to Virgo. So you may find, even though Mercury technically is in shadow up until, I think, almost the end of the month, when it enters Virgo, well, like mid-month, it's going to have been, Mercury is still going to have been in shadow, but in Leo, you're very much abrupt. Very much abrupt, and let me just speak my mind, because Leos are very much abrupt that way. very brash. So it may not necessarily have came from the most positive aspects. And I do feel like they are saying, retreat just a little bit. Make sure that you're getting all of this correct, because I do feel like they're saying not necessarily to be aggressive, but to be assertive, which would also speak to you about that Mercury communication as it moves from Leo into Virgo. Now, also, I am being reminded you have Uranus, because they were telling me when that was one of the reasons why I was feeling that way about it. This is coming into understanding yourself and getting rid of those false beliefs of self, is because they were telling me with that idea of Kinez and the Isa and the diamond, they reminded me also, and I just remembered this, that they're saying to look at Uranus. Well, Uranus is in your universal second house, talking to your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. Okay? But it went retrograde on the 11th. Uranus in Taurus is all about what can't be fixed. Why am I wasting my time on something that cannot be fixed? Period. Because Taurus is patient and it will do the hard work. And that's what I mean by patient. Taurus is stubborn. Taurus is stubborn as shit. You can't tell a Taurus what to do. It's the bull. It brings abundance with it no matter what its energy is, positive or negative. But it is patient about what it's trying to grow. It's very mature in this energy. Okay? It is reliable. It is dependable. You put Uranus here, independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem inside of that very inventive person. This is telling you what about yourself and those relationships that are affecting your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem cannot be fixed. And you need to realize what parts of you've been holding on to that are not you. That you've been holding on to that have been tearing you down. This is critiquing yourself in a new healthy way to understand outwardly where these relationships are ripping you apart so that you keep the right ones and you get rid of the wrong ones. By acknowledging in these mundane tasks, in these relationships in general, what is healthy and what's not. But you first have to get right with your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. And within that, it's going to be telling you what can't be fixed about these people and their lives dealing with you. Now, it is getting along with your Neptune. So, no, I'm sorry, that's your communication. I was looking at it from a second house. This is speaking to you about how you communicate. Well, I was saying earlier that they did say more assertive than aggressiveness. So this is your independence being able to be spoken, being able to be directed outwardly and communicate it, but from a positive standpoint that is helpful and healing, not necessarily so aggressive that it's just mean. It's being able to be assertive and get your point across. You also have Vista here in Taurus. Even though Uranus is in retrograde, they're still both in the sign. And Vista is your soul fire. So your communication is coming from the gut. Coming from, deep within the soul and what has to come out. But how will you communicate it? Because like I said, it's going back to your first house, speaking to your self-awareness, your physical body, your personality, your appearance, your view of life, your ID, your very image of the world around you as well as yourself. With Lilith here, it's asking you to get on board with your self-worth. Not your self-worth. It's asking you to get on board with your sacral chakra and your solar plexus. Find security within yourself on those bottom three chakras. This is finding that that it's okay to love yourself. That it's okay to feel good about yourself. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, then you have no creativity. Then you also have a low self-esteem because your emotions are not feeling powerful. If you can't feel powerful, then you can't strive to believe in yourself to move forward, and then you don't have power or self-esteem. So this is definitely from the solar plexus and down is what this is dealing with. They're saying where you feel like you are lacking support from the people in your life is showing you the people that are giving you problems. I mean, are they not supporting your truth, not supporting who you are? They don't necessarily have to agree with you, but do they support you being who you are? The truths of what you desire and what you need. Are they people that are healthy, good for you, and support you, even if they don't necessarily agree? Okay, and you have that energy is getting along great with, like I said, your self-awareness, and it is getting along wonderfully with your 11th house, the community, the groups, the friends, the wishes, the hopes, the ambitions, the goals, the self-realization, and liberation for yourself in these areas, which is where Saturn, the South Node, and Pluto is. This is telling you that there's something here that can be reincarnated. There's new rules, laws, and boundaries that can be shifted in these areas that will actually support those goals, those dreams, those wishes, those ambitions. That will help you go towards that direction. I was trying to make sure I wasn't picking up something. There's something there that will help you move in a more positive way and will be more responsible to helping you serve those goals, dreams, ambitions, hopes. Are the right people in the right places, basically, is what I'm getting. It is also getting along great with the North Node and the Sirius Star, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is speaking to you about understanding your very pursuit of pleasure, understanding that you need to let your inner child play. You need to let that inner child be creative so that you have your balance, so that you can experience enjoyment in life. Without enjoyment in life, there is no creativity, and then you can't find you to bring yourself forward and lift it up. This is saying that this energy is doing great, but it specifically is not getting along with changing those rules. There's rules, laws, and boundaries, again, within that 11th house, your community, those large groups, those friends, wishes, goals, dreams, memberships. There is something going on within those relationships also that are not quite being able to help you manifest what you wish to create in that outer community. Either it's in the outer community you don't have the right people, or it's because you're not creative and you're not really getting connected with the true self, and therefore you're trying to create dreams, wishes, and goals that really aren't yours, someone else's. And are you serving yourself or are you serving another? More or less, is what I'm getting. You do have from that 6th house where your everyday mundane tasks are and all these energies are moving out of Leo, going straight over to that 10th house, which is where your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career, your financial success, your financial and social foundations are created in the very community for that financial community. Speaks to the authority of that outer world and the duty and responsibilities of that outer world. There's something going on with those everyday mundane tasks that is trying to help you illuminate and speak your mind and put proper commitment into it that will help you bring that forward. Because Jupiter is about, on the 11th, also goes direct. So where you may have felt stagnant in these areas, there's about to be movement. This is why they're pushing so much emphasis on, do you have the right people in your life, because Jupiter brings abundance, and he's been in retrograde, so he's only been bringing abundance to you in your own communication with self. He's about to no longer be talking to you and turn around and start talking to everybody else. So from after the 11th, he's moving and twisting back to talk to everybody else, which means he's going to bring that higher knowledge, that abundance back to you in that honor, reputation, prestige, professional career. Or do you have the right people with the right, as Spirit says, the right people with the right ethics in place? What they said is, do you have the right people with the right ethics on the plate, more or less, to be able to serve what you want? So what are you filling the plate with that you're eating from so that you can create what you want to, is more or less what they're saying. Do you have the right food on the plate? And what they mean by food is the people, the energies that you are getting from the people with you. Are they energies that support you or not support you? Because that will make all of the difference. Now, I was told that I needed this deck today when I did this reading. So, what does Pisces need to hear? Was that it? No. They are saying that you may have clouded vision and hesitation, because they are giving you the Page of Swords, which is speaking to you of the heart. You may be going forward originally, or you may have originally made the decisions, from a clouded idea. You weren't thinking from the heart. It's having hesitation and making sure this is the right decision for you as you are moving forward. Because, like I said, the Page of Swords is upside down. She's in reverse. Then you are being given the King of Cups in reverse as well, which is saying you have messages coming in. Are you acknowledging them? Dig deeper. You have the clouded vision and the hesitation for a reason. Again, this goes right back to that Kinez and the Isa and the Diamond Induus that I was being given. Clouded hesitation, clouded vision. The Page of Swords means you weren't thinking quite straight. It's time to get that thinking straight and realize that you have here, what is this, the Knight of Cups. They're saying you have the messages that are incoming now. They're going to be shifting and telling you what the truth is that you were confused about. And dig deeper. Then they're giving me the Sun. This can be the time for you to shine. This can be making brand new happiness come forward. But this is also speaking to us of the rush. This is head. This is the head and finding clarity as you want to move forward. The freedom to travel and make these changes start to take place. Because you've found the clarity that you are after. This is telling you, just hold up for a minute. Get your clarity in check. You also are being given the Three of Pentacles, exploration of proper teamwork. It's the same thing that they were saying in the astrology and what I was getting from Spirit itself. Okay. The Hanged Man. This is saying after you, it's in reverse. So this is them saying after you've taken the proper clarity, you are capable of getting off. You won't be hung anymore. You are capable of getting up and moving forward. You're able to move forward, but take that moment to get that pure clarity straight before you move forward, so that you're not making false decisions that are going to come back, that will be holding you back and have repressed emotions because you move too fast. You want to hold on. You don't want to. That's what this is. You don't want to jump forward too fast. You have the ability to jump forward, but you don't want to. This is, again, the Ace of Cups in Ace of Cups, which is speaking to your very root chakra, your security, your safety, and asking you, you don't want to be holding back what you truthfully want. You truthfully want to go after. You don't want to hold on to these repressed emotions. You want to make sure that when you move forward, you are capable of speaking your truth. You are capable of no longer holding on to that repressed energy. You need to have clarity to realize what that repressed energy was prior to that movement forward. Then you're having the Seven of Wands, which is speaking to you about the solar plexus, starting to believe in yourself as you bring these energies together, an upper hand examination of the situation and move forward with positivity because you believe in yourself again. You believe in the situation and you believe that you have the right people on the plate, as Spirit put it. That's pretty much telling you exactly what they're hoping for you to move through the month. And I do say hoping because even though Spirit will give you information, you know, that will help you move forward, and at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that free will is always a choice. This is my own personal deck. I made my own personal deck, and it disappeared for a little while, and now it's come back and decided it's time. So, so I just felt like it was time to use it for you. The 5th house is what's coming up. This is talking about your personality, your personal interest, your creative expression, your pursuit of pleasure, love, dating, romance, being who you are and enjoying it. But in order for you to get that 7th house, not 7th house, Virgo, which is for you, for you it was the 7th house. And it was talking to you, it wasn't? Am I right? Yeah. So they're saying, if you want that 7th house relationship, that Virgo inside of you needs to work through the troubleshooting, needs to work through the diet, the health, the analyzing and critiquing the situation, the finger pointer. And I call it the finger pointer because a Virgo is the organizer. It figures everything out. It will be like, I need this organized in exactly this way, and this shit just don't belong here, and this belongs here. And if we do it this way, it works just like so. But if you do it this way, it doesn't work at all. Da 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 da. This is your organizer. It has the very eyes for detail. Does things right the first time. They troubleshoot the situation. You're being told to troubleshoot the relationships. Are they the right people? And then within having them the right people, again, bring that creative, true self forward. That will allow a new creative expression within those relationships to start spinning into a new way. What else does Pisces need to hear? Okay, that's not going to count. Because I'm using them on index cards while I'm learning how to decide if that's what I want before I try to move them forward. They're warning you, caution. Caution. This is saying, be aware that there are people there that are not as they seem. There is warning. I mean, you're talking about relationships getting in the way of your creative expression. And are they creating the truth? Are they bringing the truth forward? You're being given caution. There are people there who are not serving you, and you need to acknowledge the truth. Then I'm being given the Shin in Hebrew. The Shin in Hebrew is the flame, the everlasting dance of life. The dance of fire that never ends. It is sharp. It is a sharp energy. It is a pressing energy. It is also considered the teeth. It speaks to you of the change within the ever changing. The only thing you can always count on in life, period, is that it is always changing. There is always a shift and a change. Shift and a change. The Shin is speaking to you of the fact that you must find grace within the very shifting of this ever-changing energy, because that is meant for people to come in and go out. And you need to acknowledge that and allow it to be so, because that is coming with the caution. You might be trying to hold on to people you know you have no business holding on to. You know really aren't serving you, really aren't taking you anywhere. And if you keep trying to hold on to it, it's going to do exactly that. Keep you exactly where you've been. You are coming up. Pisces, having compassionate, being the daydreamer. Having compassionate, being the daydreamer, you're all about magical and romantic energy. You are also all about emotionally overwhelmed for the good or for the bad. But Pisces is easily victimized here. I'm being given the ever-changing shifting that never ends, caution, and Pisces, I really feel in this energy that this is saying don't allow yourself to be victimized because you're trying to be a good person. Okay? Some people are meant to go. The sacred spiral, consciousness of nature, becoming aware. You're becoming aware that this change needs to happen. You may not like it, but you are becoming aware of it, whether it's because you chose to become aware or not. This is and then I'm being given Mars energy, which is speaking to you of your own self-defense, your bravery, your daring, your courageous energy, your passion, your fire, your action. This is your sexual chakra. This is feeling fearless. This is coming back into owning your power and how you feel about yourself and being able to be the inner warrior, to be able to be the inner leader again and not be derailed. And I really feel like derailed was the word I was meant to say there. Butterflies are just popping up all over. And I don't know about you, but I've been seeing butterflies in my life all over the place. What does Pisces need to hear to help them move forward in the most positive way for the second part of August? Spiritual growth. This is talking to you. What was I saying? The Knez, the Isa, the Diamond. Coming right off the bat of getting right with yourself. Getting